Sewing girl. Last time I done my video, I showed you a little piece of this fabric, and I have now made another dress with some piping. I'm getting a little fed up with doing this pattern now, because as you know, it's my all-time favorite, that one there. This is the one I showed you, the stages in the navy Italia brunette fabric, and it is 6824. It's a new look pattern. If they haven't got this actual pattern out there now, they've got lots of things with the princess theme, with this type of bodice to it. I think you'll still find it available. I'll just show you, excuse me for reaching over, but I'll just show you this one so if you can remember this one. This is the same one that I done all the stages with, and last I showed you how I put the zip in. I'll just show you how that zip did go in. Where's it to? That's the seam there. As you can see up close, that seam really does get in. The secret is I always make sure I use center needle on it and really get it to buff up really tight to those you know, zip teeth, and that went in lovely. And also, if I can undo it a moment and show you, what I done with the lining is I just stitched the lining to the back of the zip then, when you could, you know, go in and do it from inside the lining. Yeah, so that zip went in okay, and I put another concealed zip in this dress. But yeah, I am getting a little tired of, I'm finding it a little boring now when I'm doing it. You know, I'm not enjoying it so much because I've made so many of these dresses, and I absolutely love wearing them. When I finish them, I know I'm going to love the fit's going to be nice. I love everything about this dress, but actual making them now, I've got to find a couple of more nice patterns. I've done other patterns, I've done lots of other patterns, but I always sort of go back to this one and do this one more than all the others. I'm just going to pan the camera down. If I go up for down, you can see more of it. That's the dress. Excuse all the fabric to the side. And there you go. Yeah, I do feel slimmer in these. This is why I do these patterns so much, because I know I'll get the wear out of it. Let's go back up a minute, because it's rude not to talk directly to you and see half my body. Anyway, I'm going to sit down now, and I'm going to put the camera to the side so I can have a chat and show you all my fabrics. So I'll be back when I've set the camera up again. See you in 2 minutes. Come out in the garden. The sun is in and out a little bit. See if I can push you back a little bit. So we'll see how it goes. Oh, hope it doesn't get too windy. Nearly lost me pattern then. Right, there we go. We bought some new look patterns because they were on sale. And I've bought this one. Now, the reason why I picked this one, it's like I was saying just now when I just showed you this dress I tried on. I'm finding this pattern a bit boring to do now. I'm finding I'm just plodding the way through it, and I want something a little bit quick and easy. Because when the weather is, my chair is on an uneven bit of ground and I'm rocking a bit. Just so I could find something that I could do in a couple of hours, just go up into my sewing machine room and do something nice and quick, and that looks lovely and quick. That is New Look N6617, and I think that one's going to be a lovely easy make. It's got the tier down the bottom, and that's going to be optional, and it's got ties on the top there. And that one there hasn't got the ties. The one next to it, that one there, hasn't got the ties, and it's got like drop sleeves there, which are a bit frilly. So in all, I think this is a lovely dress, and that's the picture of it. And like I said, N6617. I did look at the pattern in there. It's quite straightforward, so I'll leave that one for now. And I'd like to show you this one. Now, this one here is this one here I would do, and that is B. So pattern B is my favorite on that one. I don't think that bodice would take too long to do. It looks really quite nice. I'm not a fan of the sleeves, that design there. Not fan of that. I think that would put a lot of bulk on my shoulders. But looking at it there, they've been clever with the actual picture where they've used lovely fine fabric, and that one, the sleeves aren't bellowing out too much on that. But there you go. All those big sleeves seem to be in at the moment. And that is pattern N678. That one was N678. New look, like I said, on sale, but the button placket on that is fake. You just do the wedge and stick the buttons on. I would probably do the proper button placket with that, because that wouldn't be too much to do. And then we have a new look, N6695, which is this one here. Now, I really love the top bodice on that one there. Really absolutely love it. It looks very straightforward. Just cut the pattern pieces out, do the neckline that goes around the neck, and then, you know, you've got most of the dress constructed then. It has got a little bit of ties there. I think they should be easy to do, but if I do that one, I can talk you through the steps. So that is N6695. And then this one here. Now, I only bought this one purely because on Sew Essential they were talking about it. They tried and tested it and said it was a lovely pattern. They said the cut on it was nice, so I added this one to my fabrics as well. I wouldn't have bought it looking at the picture, but obviously you can use your own fabric choice. I really quite like that, and that is 6581. And that one, I think you can make up and spruce up with a nice bit of fabric and look really lovely, because it's supposed to drape and fit lovely, that one. So that one would be a nice easy one. It's just got you know, very, very simple. I'll just show you the insides of that one, because this one, you know, when it's very simple to do, like there we are, that's the inside picture on the inside drawings of that one. That one does look very simple. You can do short sleeves for now and not have quite so thick of fabric. And yeah, I thought that one looked quite nice. So that's that one. And this one is my all-time favorite, as you know. And like I was saying, I really need a little change from that. Something that I can do a little quicker, because with the lovely weather coming, it's really, I'm sitting a bit lopsided at the moment because I've mocked everything up here so you can see me. There we go. Yeah, I've already done one long video, but I was in the front room and it got quite overcast and everything looked so dull around me, so I thought if the sun come out, I'll nip out in the garden. But my battery's very, very low, so I'm hoping I can get to the end without racing through it before my battery go. And this one here, let me take it out because I've already cut the pattern pieces out of this one, out of the tissue. Now this one here, my sister bought something very, very similar in white, in the white stuff. I actually said it right, didn't I? Because I always struggle with that, and I always say all the other names. In the white stuff, and oh, it looked lovely on her, and I thought, oh, I'd love a pattern. So when I saw this one, new look and on offer, I thought, lovely, I'll give that one a go. Now this looks very straightforward. If I can get this one out. Let's have a look and see. Yeah, this does look very straightforward. I reckon this would be a nice sew. I'm going to do this one in linen. Whoops, I don't know if you can see it there. That's the actual line drawings. Whoops, can't see what you're seeing there. Oh, I'm showing you the wrong, I had the picture upside down. There we go, that's the back that you should be seeing now, and that's the line drawings. But yeah, it looks, this one just looks, as you can see there, like where they put the crossover bit. It's windy out here, isn't it now? Oh, but I love a bit of breeze. Love a bit of breeze. You aren't going to complain about that. So that one would be a nice sew, I think, and I'll show you what fabric I've got for that. Now, there's a funny story with this fabric. I'll tell you what happened with this. Now, this is linen, and I went in a place between Falmouth and Truro called Coast and Country. Now, it's a quilting shop, but they did do some linens. They have quite a nice lot of linens there, and this is wider than the quilting fabric, so I was pleased about that. And I love a bit of linen, and I think dots are quite nice, you know, and I think in the summer a bit of linen is always nice to wear because it's comfortable. Let's see if we can get the shape of the wrap over dress, you know, just to show you the idea. But yeah, if it don't crease too much, I think it'd be all right. I hope it wasn't a mistake, because it wasn't cheap. That's quite dear, but it was what I wanted. You know, I've got fabric here everywhere. Yeah, no, there is a funny story to that. I bought that this Saturday, and we always go Falmouth, but Falmouth had some big sea shanty on, or whatever it was, and it was just chock-a-block with people. So going out of town a little bit between Truro and Falmouth, I managed to go in the Coast and Country quilting shop and buy that. So when I got in from Falmouth that night, I popped it in the washing machine with the dress I had on, and made sure they were both light colours to go in the machine. But it was quite late when the machine had finished. It was about 9 o'clock. So I thought, oh, I won't peg it out now, because I never peg anything overnight out on the line. And I knew I would if I had just a couple of towels. I put them out overnight, but you know, I left it in the machine fabric. And the next day I woke up and I really wanted to get up and sew. And I'm thinking, oh, I'll iron that fabric now I've washed it, and I'll cut that dress out. But I couldn't find it anywhere. I was in my sewing room, and then I remembered I'd put it in the machine. So I thought, oh yeah, open the machine, and it wasn't there. And I'm thinking, well, what have I done with that? Anyway, I was running from upstairs, downstairs, looking everywhere, looking in all my stash, even pulling up this enormous bed drawer just to see if it was in there. And I don't put fabric I just bought away like that in there, but I was just at a loss for where it was to, because I thought, well, I'm sure I remember washing it, unless I didn't. I thought, I'm gonna have to bring my husband up. So I said to him, look, if you put my fabric anywhere I can't find it, I wouldn't touch that bird, I wouldn't touch that, he said. So I said, oh, all right. He said, oh, just go out down your garden centre and have a coffee. And I thought, well, I don't really want to do that. I want to find my fabric. And then my son rang from Italy, and he said the same. Well, why don't you just go down your garden centre, Mum? Don't worry about your fabric. It'll turn up. And I thought, yeah, it'll turn up. So I grabbed my keys, grabbed my handbag, and I thought, well, I need a couple of daisies for the garden. I'll knit down there. But as I went to lock my back door, because I always go out my back way, I suddenly realised my fabric was on the line. My husband must have took it out the machine before he went to bed and put it on the line, because my dress I had on Saturday was on the line as well. And I'm thinking, why didn't I check the line? But I was still stressed. Even though I went up to the line and I hugged this material, I found you. But I went down to the Renson Garden Centre, and I'd done a little bit of filming down there. And you hear me moaning and muttering, I thought I lost my fabric. And I didn't tell you then that it was on the line, because I felt a bit silly. But yeah, when you're passionate about your fabric, if you can't put your hand to it when you really want it, it is a big deal. Anyway, we've found it now, and that's the dress I'm going to do with it. So I'm pleased about that one. And the other fabric I wanted to show you, I found when I was looking for that there linen that I thought I'd put away, I tend to recognise other fabrics that I've had in my stash, and I think, oh, why haven't I used that? And this is so drapey and so soft, and just this would just hang lovely on a dress. And I thought about this one, but the only thing with that is it's got, as you can see, it's got a seam. So I'm thinking, God, wouldn't that be lovely to do the chevron effect, you know, when you have one going say one way, one going one way, and you know, another one just going the other way, if you know what I mean, and had that down the front. But whether or not I've got enough, I used to only buy 1.5, because that, my very favorite dress, only used to take 1.5, so that was my go-to fabric I used to buy. But sometimes, if the fabric was reasonable, I'd go for 2 yards. But now I would always buy 2 yards, I think, if I was to buy fabric again. And with this pattern here that I just showed you just now, this one here, looking for that dotted fabric, I found this. And I'm thinking, well, why haven't I used that? And I'm thinking that's quite nice as well. But it is a voile. It feels thin and it's like a voile. I bought down Traeger Mills some sheeting by the yard, and that was only like £4. And I'm thinking, well, I've already got some of that now, and if I did want to make a dress, something like this, and I did want to sort of like you know, line it, I've got that there fabric to line it with. And I haven't forgot this fabric yet, this one here. I was planning on making the same dress I made in the animal print, but I don't know, I still haven't quite made up my mind what to do. That's the thing with me, I get something in mind, and then when I look into it, that the style or the fabric, one or the other, isn't always right. But there you go, you've seen all my lovely patterns I've got. And this one I found as well, which I thought, if you look at that, I thought that one there was the same as this. I thought, hang on, have I doubled up on 2 patterns? But they're not the same. One has got seams, you know, pleats in the waist, or darts in the waist, and this one's got the bust darts. And I think the bust darts, I'm just seeing how long I've been out here, because I've got little clips I like to drop in. I've just got the garden centre, I think. She'll have a look and surprise you. You never know what I might add in. I hope you don't mind me showing the garden centre. It's just to show you what's nearby, where I live, and where I go, and what I do in my spare time when I'm not actually sewing. Anyway, I think that's everything I've showed you, all the fabric, and I've showed you all my patterns, but I'm definitely thinking of breaking away from that one now, because I made this one, and I you know, when I made it, I last time when I done this one, I'm thinking, you know, it's getting to be a bit of a chore now doing this one, where another fresh pattern, and the excitement of knowing it's going easy is nice, and knowing it's going to be a nice quick pattern. But I found this pattern as well that I absolutely love. And I thought that stripy one, if I didn't want to do the chevron effect, I could use, because it's so lovely and drapey, I could do that. But this one, none of them got any zips. Like, the nicest thing with that, although concealed zip is so easy, I mean, a couple of minutes either side, if that, putting a zip in, it can be so easy. But this one hasn't got that stage anyway, because sometimes when you put a zip in, sometimes you need lining to make it all neat. There's lots of, you know, one step will lead to another, but with this, you know, with a lovely bit of linen and getting a nice stitch on your machine, I think this is stitched out lovely, and I think linen is lovely to sew with. And that dotted fabric looked lovely in the shop, lovely, and I think that will, I'm going to iron it. It needs an iron. But just before I go, I'm going to run and get that other dress, the one I showed you all the stages, because I've done the zip on that one, and that one, the zip turned out lovely. So I'll go and get it, and to show you how it went in, because I can't take this one off right at this minute to show you. So I'll run and grab my other dress. Okay, I'm back again. I've just got this dress. Remember this navy one that you saw all the stages with? The one I put the, oh, it's lovely, lovely. I love this dress. It took a while because I done all the steps and I got to think what I'm saying all the time. And this is the zip. Oh, I don't know why I opened it. Let's just do that zip up again a minute. That's the zip there, that's the seam there. You can see the seam, but you cannot see the zip. There's the seam. And that one went in lovely, you know. And what I done inside, when I went to put the lining in, because you know I lined it, what I done is I sewed the lining to the inside of the zip, you know, just so that it would just stitch onto the inside of the zip. Then you just turn it inside out and lay it on the sewing machine, and you can get it in that way. Yeah, so that zip went in lovely, and they don't take very long at all to do. But the secret is, when you do a zip, is getting that just getting the needle in the right position. When you put the concealed zip foot on, hang on, what am I doing here? When you put the concealed foot on, always make sure you've got center needle, and then buff it right up as close to that zip as you can. And then put your needle down, hand crank your machine a couple times, just make sure that you're not catching anything. And if you're not catching anything and it's in that groove, in with that concealed zip, it won't catch anything, and then you can go straight down with it. Anyway, I've shown you that, and I'm going to stop now before my battery ran out, and I'm going to just drop in a few things of my day when I was out and about, because I was down the garden centre moaning I couldn't find my fabric, but you know I did. I seen it on the line. But I felt too silly to say that. But anyway, that's life. Things like that do stress you out. If you can't find fabric, come on. We will be stressed. Anyway, see you soon. Hope you like the little drop-ins I've done. Back down the garden centre now, having a coffee, because they've opened up a new little coffee bit down here, which is absolutely lovely. And I had to leave the house because I couldn't find the material I wanted, and I was getting stressed looking for that. Oh, pulling the bed drawers out and hurting me back, so I thought, right, that's it. Coming down here, having a coffee, and then I'll think where I put what I want. I'll find that fabric in the end. Oh, look at those pots up the very top there. Oh, I'm going to go over and have a look at them in a minute. for a daisy. They only seem to have two flowers on, like, you know, per pot. So come over here, and I quite like that one. That's quite pretty, but whether or not it's got any, yeah, I think there's some new little shoots on that to come. These here are nice. I've got one I saw down the Duchy like that in red, but I have got the red one at home, and I think that pink one's quite nice. Not quite sure what it's called. There we go. This one here might be quite nice. Let's just lift it up so you can see what it. That's the daisies, and I got that one there. Well, I'm still here. Don't know when to go home. I've had a lovely coffee, and then I had a lovely potter around the garden. And I bought these two, the common daisy, but I always think with it being such a light colour, it does outblend in, you know, with a little bit of softness with something else without having too much overpowering colour, you know, all one go. And I've bought that one, but they have got down here, I have got some enormous daisies, and I always like a bit of white, you know, that breaks things up a bit in the garden. So I might buy some of them soon. But the only thing is they are rather tall, you know, and they could bend over. It got a bit windy, but yeah, isn't it beautiful weather now? Well, I better get home and try that new dress on. I've just parked my car in the car park, which is right next to Churro Fabric, so I managed to get in there. It's generally very, very tight, so I was glad I got in there, and I'm just walking along now to Churro Fabrics. That's the car park there, and I managed, it's quite tight, everything's packed in like sardines, so I was quite pleased I managed to squeeze in a spot. And yeah, this is Churro Fabric, so I shall take you in and have a little pan around.
With who? Who was that with?
Here we are, here's the entrance. Oh, that looks a nice little bit of fabric there, doesn't it? Whoops. Small though, but nice. Quite like that. I don't see a price on it. I'll come back and have a look at that one in a minute. And here we are. Let's see if they got any pack. New Look is on sale. So New Look pants might be around the other side of the table. Try not to spin it around too fast. And there we are. This is where I get my dress fabric. Yeah, there's Simplicity. Sorry, New Look with the money off. So there's a few patterns I might get in a minute. And that's Overlock of Red. And all the cottons. Now these are mostly cotton. I think that's cotton. Yeah, these are mostly cotton here. They tend to separate it. And, you know, all cottons with cotton and viscoses with viscoses. Now, I've got this one. You've seen me show that one. That looks quite nice. That looks quite nice. looks really quite nice actually. That one's sort of jumping out up at me, this one here. That seems to be really quite nice. And this is my Tilda fabric, like I done the Tilda quilt with.
In a metre square.
This is all a bit heavier fleece and it's a bit heavy for now, but this is the viscose. This is what I would be using now. And this is my favourite at the moment. Quite like that one. That's quite nice. And that's quite nice. So we shall see. And they do zips as well. And there you go. This is Truro Fabrics. Hi, I hope you like that little clip down the garden centre. It was absolutely lovely weather. So I didn't go home, didn't cut my pattern out straight away. I sort of swung around to where I used to live before. I used to live on a little bungalow estate. So I swung around that way to see one of my friends there. And she makes little animals. She knits little animals. So we had a bit of a laugh how one was going. You know, her giraffe was looking a bit like a swan before she put the legs on and got the bit of wire in round the neck, the little pipe cleaner she needed to do. But we had a bit of fun with that. But this lovely weather, it's just nice to be out and about. And I love doing that. You know, I love going out to lunch and actually being out in the lovely sunshine, because we don't get much of it here in Cornwall. Sometimes when it starts getting a bit dull, the rain sets in, and then we can have a few weeks or more with rain. So hopefully you'll forgive me if I'm not up in my sewing machine room or sewing room all the time sewing, but this dress will be done soon. Anyway, you take good care of yourself, and thank you so much for subscribing. I've had a little flutter of new subscribers lately, and I am absolutely delighted. Thank you so much for that. Anyway, I'd like to say goodbye for now, and take care, and I will be back soon. Bye-bye.